Hello, and I want to say welcome to my channel. This is probably the first time I've really spoken on this channel, since I never really do any voiceover videos. But hi, I'm Bunny, or more formally known as Dorcas. That's my name, but you can also call me Bunny. And this is a sketchbook tour. If I have to be honest, guys, this is my third or fourth time filming a sketchbook tour of this same sketchbook, so I am kind of annoyed at this point, but I was never really happy with the way I filmed the video, so here goes another try. I'm mostly going to be just showing the pages and add more context if needed, but yeah, you can see from the outside that it's pretty rough, and you can see that this paper is coming off. I probably should take it off, but I want to just keep this here so I remember what type of sketchbook I had back then, so I can just get a new one. So there was a small jump here, but I just want to say, if there's any background noise, I'm so sorry. This is kind of the only moment I can't film, so we just have to do with what we have currently. So let's get into the first few pages, and with some background info. This is a Derwent sketchbook, and I got this at Suomalainen Kirjakauppa, also known as the Finnish bookstore. I honestly don't know why they are selling art products in a bookstore, but it's handy, so I don't have to go to an actual art shop. This was pretty expensive. This was 20 euros. This is the back. The back looks way better than the front, but yeah. Yeah, if you can see, there's the leather has come off, and yeah, I got this sketchbook in 2022 on the 9th. On the 9th, and it's been 3 years, and I'm surprised that I've had a sketchbook for this long. Normally I just have it for a year or 2 years, but I guess I just spent extra long on this one. So basically I've had this most of my high school year. Anyways, first page, if you can see, is a comic page. I was planning a comic here. I can put some finished products on the screen somewhere, and this was for a school project, and this is the ending of it. The rest is in the previous sketchbook, the sketchbook before this one, and I will probably do a sketchbook tour of that one because I think it was also an interesting sketchbook, and that was from 2021 to 2022. But yeah, the comic continues here. If you can kind of see, maybe read the text, but mostly it's pretty smudged. Here we have one of my OCs that I draw the most, Altair, but you can see that the face is not finished. Yeah, there's a few poses. This is Aria. This is Aria's old design. Aria does not look like this anymore. I would say nowadays they look quite dignified and refined. I don't really have any finished art, but I think I have one drawing of Aria where I was live streaming, and I was working on that piece that I still haven't finished to this day, and it's been almost a year now. But yeah, this is Cyrus. These two are Cyrus. This is Max from the previous comic, and this is actually a sketch of Cyrus's Halloween design that I have on I guess my social media accounts somewhere, if I haven't deleted them. But yeah, Here's more Max from the very first comic. His name is Max Arsène, and I really liked Max's original design from the comic, and I really felt like it was a waste to just use him for a school project. So I was thinking of ideas on how to kind of like recycle him into something else. I didn't want to throw him into Thousand Fates since I always do that. So I wanted to give him like a separate story. And in this concept, I was planning for him to be like half human, half dreamer, a creature who could travel through dreams. And I guess this says like that he can steal people's dreams and feed from them. And yeah, I think this is a pretty cool design, and I like the red here. And these leg warmers are so adorable. Here we have this is Raya, this is Evelyn. Evelyn does not look like this anymore. You know, I think I was doing something here, but I just never finished it, so it's just a drawing. Yeah, I think this was the cover for my Thousand Fates novel. I think I was planning the cover for it. The finished cover does look something similar to it. The only reason why I know it's like the Thousand Fates cover is because of the teardrop here, and that's kind of like Cyrus's thing. So yeah, I think in the finished version they were holding a star like on their hands. So yeah, let's move on. So here we have some poses. I'm not sure whether I took these from Pinterest or I was just drawing something, but yeah. And then we have Altair and casual Altair. This is something that Altair would 100% wear if they were in human disguise, like probably like traveling on Earth or something. And Altair would 100% use glasses. Yeah, this is also not really finished, but it's the page still looks nice. Here we have a cat girl that was drawn with a red pencil, and then I went over it with like a black one. It's okay, it's a drawing. And then this is a bit newer. I know that I was trying to fill this page since it just had this cat girl, and I don't really like leaving my pages empty nowadays, so I like to like fill them to the max. So I was trying to add something, but I never finished this page, and I think I just gave up. But yeah, this is a half finished drawing, and I feel like it was just a newer version of this cat girl. And this is an OC that never made it through. Maybe I could reuse her in something else. She was originally supposed to be Cyrus's sister, but there is no need for Cyrus to really have a sister. So she's kind of on the side for now. And then we have Ren. These three are Ren. And he's a bunny boy who belongs to Thousand Fates. Yeah. And then we have a hand. Wow, that's more Max. This is Max as a high schooler, I guess. High schooler, uni student, I never really specified, but I like this outfit. I still love these like leg warmers. I feel like this outfit was heavily inspired from Max's design from the comic, especially like this shorts. I guess I decided to reuse them. And here is what his tail would have looked like as like the dream creature. And yeah, on the next page we have Gummy, and she was my old persona. She was like this orange-haired corgi girl, and yeah, I think I was trying to repurpose her because I was really attached to that design. I've had it for like many years, probably like since 2014, 2015, and it's kind of weird to just switch to Jester. So admittedly, I kind of missed her, so I was trying to revive her, but it was just like not working. So yeah, this is like the remnants of Gummy, and this is more info about Cyrus's sister. And I guess I gave her some type of lore, but there's a very slim chance that I would end up using that. But yeah. Well, would you look at that? More Max. This is Max and some info like on the sides. I really like writing information on my pages. I feel like it makes the pages more interesting, but it also helps me like brainstorm. And this is Cyrus. This is, I guess, Basil with a question mark. And this is more of Max. I'm like so in love with this design. Man, I just love Max. Like, look at the tail. I love the tail. I guess this is like when, I guess like his sleeping wear. I love the crop top, and I like how he would still like be sleeping with his like leg warmers. But yeah, that's like the backside. But yeah, I love this design. Yeah, we have Cyrus here, and there's not really much to say about that one. But then we have Basil Land. There's like a few Basils here. If you can kind of like see the image that I was going for. Around 2022, I was so into Amore, and I really liked Basil the most. So I guess you can kind of see that in a few pages. I don't really draw fan art, but Basil was an exception. And these two were from Pinterest. I'm sorry guys, I did not do you guys justice. I'm so sorry. But moving on. This was supposed to be Max. I never finished it. This looks like it. Yeah, this says Max and Lily, but I also never finished that. And I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. Maybe Noel. And it's so sad that this page is like so smudged. Like if you can see it, it's just like so sad. But here we have a few Cyruses, and this is Noel. It says Noel or Cyrus, but this is clearly more Noel. Loki, a Cyrus fan page. Love that. And then we have Altair once more. I did not draw Altair enough, which is sad, but at least this looks kind of nice. And this is the Noel page, and I really love this one even to this day. And I like how it still holds up. It's not that smudged. And here it says, I really want to be someone that others can be proud of. That's so sweet and kind of sad. If you know his lore, which no one really knows since I don't really talk about it, yeah, it is sad. Anyways, moving on. This is Etoile, one of my star OCs. He works for Altair over here. And this is Altair's like divine form or something. And this is some random designs that I was doing. I think it would be super cool to have like a dress that looks like something similar to this with like a back like this. If anyone ever makes this, hit me up, you know. Or maybe I'm going to make it. Yeah. And this is coffee with no face, but this was coffee. And coffee, which OC is that? Well, coffee is pretty much dead, and I don't think you will find coffee in any of my Instagram. I took a break in the middle, so I don't know what I said, but this is basically this page, and we are moving on. And here we have more like world building of Thousand Fates. I was specifically planning one of the kingdoms in Thousand Fates called Aristo, and you can pause to read if you can figure out my handwriting. And then we have like some of the like very badly drawn hallways of like the castle in Aristo, like the castle where Arya resides in. And I'm not really good with like backgrounds, and it kind of shows very obviously, but yeah, like it's just like the rough idea. And this is also a star OC. She was supposed to be working for Altair. Like, if I have to be honest, I literally hate the face. Like, the body is fine, even though it looks a bit awkward, but I love the outfit. The outfit, like the front and the back, is like very nice, but I literally hate the face. This is the same OC drawn a little later, and it looks a little better, but still very awkward. And her name is Vega. Yeah. I don't really have much to say. I was trying to plan Aster, who's the character over here, and if I have to be also very honest, he looks like Langa from Skate, and that's so funny. He looks like Langa from Skate, like so much. Let's put like a comparison of Langa somewhere. I didn't do it on purpose, but it just like looks like him. I was trying to make him like an emo type of like boy with like who's in a band and has a guitar, but really cool and stuff. And yeah, I did redesign him at one point, but it's like a few more pages forward. This is just Cyrus. This is a cute chibi that I did not finish drawing. Too bad that Cyrus is bald here. And it's sadly pretty smudged. And here we have an angel OC with a dress that I saw on Pinterest, and that dress was like so freaking adorable. And this angel's name is Angel because I am not creative like that. But yeah, super cute. Love the OC. I haven't drawn her after this one, but I should. And these two pages are drawn with like this red marker I just found from home, and I became kind of obsessed with that red marker. Yeah, this is like a close-up, so close-up of their little doodles. Yeah, this is like Altair, random OC, I think. And yeah, this is a comic page, and I don't really know what this was about, but it did feature my OC Lux. I never did this, I never finished the sketch, so it's just an idea. This is Cyrus's formal wear. I was trying to plan what I would want Cyrus to look like for one of the arcs in Thousand Fates where they go to a ball. I'm not going to say anything more, but yeah, here are the little details, and let's move on. This is Raya drawn with that red marker, and all of these look kind of awkward, but they're cute. We have some flowers here and a bouquet, and she's kind of like a half human, half fox, and she's like a florist, so obviously she's around flowers all the time. And these like potions are just there because her wife is like an alchemist or something like that. And this is more coffee, and coffee's real name is Lilith Blanc, and coffee is just like their stage name, but I prefer to call just like coffee instead of Lilith. And then we have I think I was like trying to make another god for Thousand Fates, because there's like, you know, all gods by name, but I like haven't given most of them like a design, since they're only going to appear at the very end, or they won't show up at all. So yeah, and I don't really have anything to say about this one, so let's move on. Oh, this deserves its own spotlight. This is by my lovely younger brother. He drew this for me, so I left this whole page for him, so if he wants to ever like fill it up, he can. And there's a storyboard here for a short film that I was about to do, but I never did it because I was lacking the motivation, and it was from my like filming class that I dropped out from, but that doesn't really matter no more. I graduated. Thank you. And yeah, this is the continuation of the storyboard, and this is Aster. Yeah, this is the page I was speaking of. This is like the redesign of Aster, and this looks much cooler. I kind of put some blue highlights all over, and I think they look really cool. Yeah, his name is Aster Montgomery, and he kind of has that same type of vibe. He's still kind of like the guitarist of the Dream Seeker band, and will end up being like Max's friend / love interest maybe. And yeah, he wears like a button up and like a cardigan on top, and I think he would just like put his hair up pretty often. But yeah, much nicer than the previous one, and does not look like Longa. So yeah, this is called a style experimentation page, but I wasn't really experimenting with anything here, so on to the next page. This is Lily from the very first page, and also Max's friend. She definitely got a glow up, and I love this side profile, especially since I suck at side profiles, but I feel like this looks pretty decent. I love the markers that I use all around, and yeah, I should draw her more. She's pretty cool as a character. I would flip this, but this is just like at the like timeline of Thousand Fates and like all the other stories, because like on top of Thousand Fates there is like guiding light that happens before Thousand Fates, and there's like, you know, I guess something happens to a few of the characters, so I had to like put them into the timeline. And then there is like when Dreamseeker would happen, and yeah, no, this is not Dreamseeker. The Dreamseeker is like at the very end, and there's like something called Yesterday's Dream, which is like Lux's story. And I would say that these are kind of in the wrong order right now, because I did do a game and I did do some concept planning like that you're going to see at the very end of like this sketchbook, but that should go like around here, like in the middle, because like it is kind of like relevant to the story, but it's like not part of the main story, if you get what I mean. I feel like maybe I might explain like the timelines in another video if anyone is interested, but let's move on. I don't really know who she is supposed to be, but she was supposed to be some type of queen of like some kingdom in Thousand Fates. And both of these pages are just about Lux, and I will probably blur like the backstory here, since it's basically a huge spoiler, but I really love Lux and his design. If you didn't know, Lux is like like a doll, like, excuse me, like a human soul inside of a doll, and he's basically trapped in it against his will. But yeah, this is like maybe his design if he when he was a human, but I feel like I might redesign that because I don't really see him looking like this as a human. But this is his doll form. This is me trying to recreate my old Astolfo drawing. I've shared it on my new account on Instagram at one point. And if you did follow me before I became like Bunny, you've definitely seen that one. But let's just quietly move on from that. This is Altair in his formal wear, and I love this outfit. Nothing more to say except for that Altair is always looking gorgeous. This is Jester, my persona, and Jester is so cute. There's like more Jesters here, and I think this was like one of the outfits I wanted to give to Jester and Cyrus. This, I'm gonna blur this, but this is another page drawn with the red markers, and this time I used some blue highlights to highlight some parts, and I feel like that made the page much more interesting. I remember I was like in class and I could not use my laptop at the time, and I was so bored while we were watching some type of documentary, so I just started like writing a story here. I don't know what this is about. It was like a comic / story. I guess you can read it if you want. I don't know what it's about anymore, and I don't want to really read it because it's gonna take some time, so pause to read. Sorry for any grammatical like mistakes. And there's not really anything interesting here. This is Cyrus, and all of these like names here is just like me trying to organize all of the gods in order. Yeah, and in this page it's mostly focused on Cyrus and Evelyn. I was starting to like decide whether I want Evelyn to just be a human or like an elf, and this is like one of the designs I was like planning for her. I'm actually quite fond of like this design, so let's see if I end up using this at the end. In this version I was planning her to be like a witch instead of an alchemist, but yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry for any type of noise that you might hear right now. Maybe I should just like close the window real quick. Okay, I think that's like much better. Yeah, these were basically just Jester, and there was just like some little information about Jester, since Jester does have like their own small lore despite being my persona. And this is Azrael with no hair. Oh, more Azrael. I just love Azrael so much. I was planning his, I guess, formal attire that I'm currently not using at the moment. He has like something completely else. This is June and Arya Azrael. This is another variation of Evelyn if she just was human, and I love her outfits, but I prefer like the hair on the previous page for her. I feel like it fits her personality way more than this one, even though it's kind of cute, but this is giving more like cutesy instead of hottie baddie girl. Yeah. And this is Cyrus. I might just blur this one part. And yeah, all of this on this page is just gesture. This is so adorable. Like, can I? Yeah, it's so cute. Oh, and this is Cyrus. Not much to say about these pages. It's just characters in different poses. This is just like, I guess, pose practice. And yeah. Oh, this page was used to plan my art diploma, and yeah, I ended up going with, it was like a mix of this one, and this one. Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of those. I really liked this one. Low-key, I should have gone with this one, but I feel like the one I did was also like equally as important. We were supposed to incorporate a mirror into the drawing in some way, and I kind of did with this one. I almost went with this specific one. This was just like Altair and like evil art Altair, but that didn't really make sense for Altair's personality, since Altair is not really like evil. But yeah, this is Azrael. Let's just skip this page. And this is basically just June on both pages, and June is Aria's assistant, and June is an angel. They most of the time just handle Aria's work, like most of their works, and act as like Aria's face for all the like diplomatic issues, since Aria is not supposed to really show themselves as a god. But yeah. Yeah, I think this page looks very cool, and this is like June's redesign, and it looks way better than like the old like versions that I had for June. And the old versions are not on this like sketchbook. If I find them, I will maybe show them one day. And fun fact, June was named after the month, quite literally. I remember creating June in June, like June of 2020 or something, and that's kind of how I ended up with the name. Oh yeah, I basically already showed this one, and I just was kind of like highlighting the points that I wanted to have on the diploma. And for the diploma, I needed to redesign the icon, Altair's lover, and I did have like a very old design on my laptop that I did not like. It was not really giving the sexy vampire that I wanted to like, you know, have like theme that I wanted to have for icon. So I was like trying to see if I like the old design or if I should just like make a new design. But this is more, yeah, this is like Akon's current like design, with like, you can kind of see like the vampire theme ish, but I feel like you kind of get it more with the colors. And this looks so nice because it reminds me of like raindrops. But yeah, I just love Akon so much. It's literally like him and Altair, like best combination ever. Oh, this was a comic that I was making. It was basically a conversation between Altair, Aria, and Noel. And no. Wait, no. This is not it. Oh, okay, no, I get what this is. This was for an animatic. Yeah, this is something completely else. I never finished this one either, so I don't really have much to say about this since it's not really a project that went anywhere. But let's move on. We have Altair here, and I love Altair. This is Altair with that one dress that I drew him in, and this is Altair if he actually laughed anytime you said something. But yeah, it's very nice. I was planning a 3D like project here. It was like a little box and you had to add like decorations to it. Like I think it was using SketchUp. I never ended up doing it because I just could not understand how the app was used. And then we have like Aria and their more current designs. I would say these two, and this one is like one of their like current designs, and this is Noel. But yeah, this is like post-it note. Like I glued it on because the drawing underneath was like so bad. It was so bad. Anyways, another page made with the red marker, and it's mostly just Akon. I had like this Akon phase after I redesigned him, and that's really like the best feeling ever when you get like hyper fixated on your newest OC and that's literally like the only thing you draw, and that's the thing that gives you motivation. But we have Cyrus and their outdoor wear, because we all know this is not protecting anything, but it's cute, so that's all that matters. I feel like Cyrus would just kind of like, you know, power through the cold and just like accept it, like if I look cute it's fine type of like thinking. But yeah, this is Cyrus like holding like some type of like pot or something, and they were excited. And this is Azrael's like outdoor wear, and this looks way better. Like let's just compare these two for a second. So which one do you think is going to withstand the cold? Yeah, the answer is obvious, but yeah. This was also for a 3D project that I can put somewhere on the screen. It ended up being very cute, and this is Noel. More Akon. Ugh. This is Akon's like casual outfit that they would probably like use whenever they're like visiting Altair in his domain, and it's kind of like this black dress with a slit on it and just looks so good. And this is Gaia, one of the gods, but I think he needs to go through like a redesign because like it's cute, but I think I could do better. But yeah. And then this was like, I wanted to do like a Valentine's Day like art colored digital piece of these two, but I never ended up doing it, so I have to just settle with this small sketch that I have. But yeah, these are just like Cyrus, and here are the dream seeker characters. I created a story called Dream Seeker, and these guys are in a band called the Dream Seeker. So the members would basically be Elijah, Summer, this guy, I'm not sure what his name is no more, and he also has like Noel and Aster, but they're not really included in this one. But yeah, I love like Summer the most. I think she has like that cool older sister vibe, or just like one of those cool girls that you really like look up to. But all of these guys have like a very cute design, and I feel like it would be fun to work on Dream Seeker, but I feel like I just have to get like Thousand Face out of the way. Yeah, this is just Max and a few random characters. This is Summer. This is a bunny OC that I was making for my sister, but she's just there, not used, she's not really used for anything. And this is another star OC called Astrid, and compared to the other star OCs, she's actually being actively used in the story, or yeah, she's being actively used in the story. And she also works for Altair and works in Heaven too. Yeah, these are the first pages that I planned for Dreamseeker, but I never end up doing them because I just felt like it was like good idea but wrong time type of thing. Maybe one day I'll just end up using them or make new comic pages for it. Yeah, this is just the continuation, and this is kind of like, you know, a relationship chart for like all the characters in Guiding Light, like Altair, Ren, and Astrid, including Celestia. Maybe I will censor it, maybe I won't, because it's not that relevant no more, I think. But yeah, this is Card Captor Sakura. Yeah, I think I was rewatching Card Captor Sakura at the moment, like at the time, so I was like, let me have the genius idea to just draw her, and I think these end up looking super cute. And then we have more Maxes and a random Akon, but there's not really much to say about this one. More Akon! Yeah, this is Akon in like a sexier dress, and I love this dress. Like, you look so good. Yeah. One point I really like about Akon is that he has kind of like, you know, one of his hands is like has like this black tint to it, like it's like completely covered like in black, and he has just like super long nails. And one thing that he does is like accidentally scratch like Altair multiple times because of his nails, but even though he cuts them, it just grows pretty fast, and he often feels bad about scratching Altair. That's like one thing. And then we have Altair here, and I really like this one. Yeah. And then we have Jester. You probably might know this outfit, since this is like one of my VTuber outfits for Akon. No, for Jester. It was like racer themed because I was kind of like pretty into the racer aesthetic at the time. So yeah, I never actually use that model anymore because it's broken. The head is not sticking, so I have to re-rig it at some point. And then we have early Cyrus concept. This is like what Cyrus looked like before Thousand Fates actually started. Some of you guys already know this design if you've probably seen my old live streams. But yeah, Cyrus used to have like longer hair and just look like messier and just more like depressed and angry. And I was trying to redesign Cyrus's like casual wear, and I was trying to think whether I want like puffy sleeves or like thin sleeves. I ended up going with the thin ones. And yeah, and this is more like, yeah, this is me designing Azrael's concept phase. And once again, I'm so sorry for the noise again. I can't do anything to it. I just hope it's not too loud. But yeah, this is just Azrael's concept page, and then we have other side characters such as Elliot and Zora. And Elliot got a glow up, so he doesn't look like this anymore. Zora is still like under the works. Then we have Shaw. I rarely draw Shaw, but I really love Shaw. I should draw him more. And cult leader Akon, and he has a reason for that I can't explain, but yeah, this is budget Draculaura. So let's just move on. I was trying to plan the cover for the chapter, basically the first arc of Thousand Fates. I was like thinking whether to have like Cyrus undercover or Azrael undercover. At the end, I just ended up going with both because that makes the most sense, since the first arc is just basically about them. Some of you guys might have seen the end product already of that like poster, but I'm going to share it when the comic is ready. And this is Celestia. I don't really see Celestia looking like this, but Celestia is like a shapeshifter. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce my S's today, but yeah, Celestia is a shapeshifter. Most of the time they just take on the form of like Altair or maybe Aria, since they think it's kind of fun to do that. But for context, Celestia is basically the god of all gods, basically the owner of the universe, if that makes sense. And then we have Elliot, and in this early design he was like a golden retriever, like half dog, half human, but specifically like a golden retriever dog. And I thought that was like a cute design, but it was just like giving too much like good boy type of vibe. And I just did not think that it fit him, since he is like a bar owner, and he also is the owner of the Adventurers Guild, so it doesn't really make sense for him to look that nice. I mean, he could have, but I just did not want that type of vibe for him. So nowadays he just has like more like a fox look. He's like half fox, half human, and I think that fits him way better. And then we have 2B that I was trying to like reference directly from like a drawing, and these are Jackie from this page. If you stuck around for a while, or you have played my game, this is Jackie from Soul Journey, and this is the guide. I don't know, should I just like say, I mean, I feel like it's obvious who the guide is, quite obvious, so I'm not gonna say it, since you know most of you guys already know. But this is Jackie's like design. I wanted her to look like this in the game, but it didn't make that much sense, since she died and is now in like the soul world. That it would probably make more sense for her to have like her loungewear, which I end up going for. Like it's like a comfy pajama type of outfit that I gave her at the end. And yeah, this is the comic I was talking about way earlier, and it was like a comic where Altair, Noel, and Arya were conversing together about Altair's relationship with Akon, but in this case Altair just did not name Akon in any way. They were just like reminiscing about their times together. I think it would be fun to finish this comic one day, but I guess that day is not today because I'm quite busy lately. And the comic briefly continues to this side, and I left the rest of the page empty so I could finish the comic. But yeah, here we have Misha from Soul Journey as well. And I just have to say, Misha is literally my comfort character. I just love the role that Misha plays in Soul Journey, and I kind of I know it's kind of brief, but I really like the dynamic that he has with Jackie. I feel like they are really sweet together, and if it was not for like the situation they were in, I feel like they would totally be like best friends. In the times where like Misha disguises themselves as a human to just go basically ditch work, and he would kind of meet Jackie there, and they would just be friends. And this is basically Jackie's like casual wear. This is like, you know, before Soul Journey. This is like the type of things that she would wear. And then we have Bonwin, Misha's familiar that did not make it into the game, sadly. I'm so disappointed that I just did not have time to put him in the game, but I also feel like if I had added Bonwin to the game, it would have kind of lessened the impact of Misha in the game, so I just had to choose between one. Then we have concept of the guide, and yeah, I feel like this page already quite literally says who the guide is, so I really don't have anything much to say. This is Shiro from BNA. Was it like Brand New Animal? I really like Shiro. I know he didn't speak much, but I loved him. I liked his simple design and how memorable he was. And it hasn't been that long since I rewatched the show, but I really want to rewatch it. And you guys already probably recognize this, but this is Jester's current design that I use the most, and it's Jester design. This is Jester's current or I guess the newest VTuber design that I have for Jester. I had a summer design that I haven't finished rigging, so I guess this is currently like the newest one. And yeah, I really like it a lot. And after making this one, I haven't really used the other designs that I have for just Jester or like the other models, but yeah. Oh, and then we have Summer Jester, and I guess Jester's summer outfit is kind of similar to this one. And then we have a comic, and do I want to spoil this? Let's just say it's the prologue for Thousand Fates. It's the prologue for the Thousand Fates comic. This one I'm gonna hide. This one I'm just gonna hide. I really want to talk about the first page, but I can't. I can't. I just have to let it marinate until I'm ready to talk about it. But this is Akon. Oh, okay. I guess I can just say the guide. It's so obvious. But yeah, this is what their outfit, like his outfit, actually look like. You can't really tell from the game, but it is a suit. And then we have Orion, one of the gods, who's actually the descendant or the successor of Akon. For reasons I can't say yet, but yeah, he is the successor. And then we have Elliot on both pages, and yeah, this is Elliot's current design, like a foxy boy, and I just really like this overall design. It's way better than the golden retriever one. I'm just happy I gave him a redesign. Yeah, this is kind of what his outfit would look like without the jacket, like if he switched to a button up, but usually he has like a turtleneck on. But yeah, we're almost at the end. Oh yeah, this is like, you know, more like in-depth planning of like Jester's like summer outfit, and I ended up going with this one without like the long sleeved like shirt. which is I really wanted to add it, but it's kind of hard to incorporate into Live 2D, especially since I'm like a beginner. But maybe I will add it like gradually. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And then we have another like 1000 face timeline. I have so many of these, if we have to be honest. Oh, we're literally at the end. Oh my gosh. And this, we're talking about this is like an empty page. I did not fill this, but I already got a new sketchbook, so I don't think I will come back and fill this one. But this was the map plan for the map for Soul Journey, and I feel like it's still pretty accurate, but I guess yeah, this is where Jackie starts off in, and this is like the main room where she meets the guide. Here you go through here if like you enter the bad ending, but these rooms don't exist because I didn't have time. There was supposed to be like mini games, but sadly I regret that I did not have time, and there's not really a point to like add these anymore. And to just add more to the story, I wanted to add like another room where you were supposed to obtain the key for like the good ending. And yeah, this exit does not exist. There is a hallway here, but just imagine that this is just like flipped here. Yeah, and all these like keys that you need to get to finish the game are kind of like, you know, on this side, like the room that's like over here. But yeah, and then we have the novel planning for 1000 Fates, because I was like reconsidering at some point, like, should I rewrite the novel or should I just make it into a comic? But I feel like a comic is like more my thing, even though I'm more of a writer, but I would prefer to have a comic out of it. But yeah, and then we're quite literally at the end. Yeah, we went through the whole sketchbook, and it's been like an interesting 3 years. You can really see how my art style really like evolved over time compared to the very first ones. I feel like my drawings like early on were pretty sketchy to the point that they were getting smudged like this, compared to like, you know, my more current drawings. I feel like it might also be like the pen that I used later on, but I don't really know. I'm not really an expert. But yeah, that was basically my sketchbook. I hope that the drawings were interesting. I hope that you had fun looking at these. If you're interested in seeing more sketchbook tours, then please let me know. Maybe I will do more, or if you ask, or maybe I will just like film more without you asking. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. I know this was pretty long, and I'm again sorry for the background noise. I might re-record like some of the parts that were too loud. But yeah, thank you for watching.